Officer, I have here, okay, one of your GitHub repositories, specifically related to operational security. And I wanted to go over a few of the problems that you explained here. So maybe we can talk a little bit about them. I'm going to start with problem number one, which is related to emails. So the problem states, use a secure email provider. Also use a trusted VPN like Muvad or Proton VPN. Better to self-hosted. End-to-end encryption is only as secure as the service you're sending the email to. For example, if a Proton mail user sends an email to a Gmail user, the email is encrypted with TSL, but Google can still read and hand over any data that passes through the server. End-to-end can be reestablished by using features such as password-protected email from Proton email. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I wanted to say that those two options, I mean Proton Mail and Tutanota, are not the bulletproof options, of course, because they, of course, can closely work with government and police services, but the amount of data they can give out is limited. And that's a known fact, and you should always take this into consideration before doing something shady. Moreover, what's for VPN? I know a lot of people still treat VPN services as a sort of a danger, as a sort of security by obscurity, but it's actually not, because I'm pretty sure that Mulvat.net does not work with local authorities or local police. Their office has been even raided with police officers, and they just show they had nothing to give out. It's a pretty trusted provider, and I suggest every activist, political person use it, because it does not even have a password and login email. You just get the one-time code which you use for registration, and that's it. Pretty simple and pretty clever technique, because even the service itself cannot establish who are using their services, and make a reverse checkout and so on. That's the same way Proton Mail Tutanota can do this service.
So you're telling me that if I send an email from a Proton email account to Google, they can see a portion of the data there?
In example, when Proton Mail user sends an email to Gmail user, it just means that that you can achieve TLS with using special tricks. Sort of, it does not affect your privacy. It does not give out any data for. It's like for making your conversations more secure. The same way they realized, for example, in Kyber, XMPP server, or so on, or in Element and in different P2P networks.
I understand.
By the way, this issue is somehow also reflected on Element.io messenger. That's a matrix, as you know, but there is a cool trick. As you know, there are public chats.
Yeah.
But if you will make a bridge from the Element chat to Telegram, the chat group will lose end-to-end encryption.
Well, then
Match by default, and this way all users will be at risk, and their privacy will be at risk as well, because it does not support end-to-end encryption for bridging to Telegram, and it doesn't even mention somewhere on the noticeable place. You just have to find it on your own. But this is almost the same thing like we discussed now with Proton Mail and Gmail.
I understand. Very interesting points, bro.
More.
Go on.
think, yeah. A very important tip, which is listed in the very end of the problem number 1,
That means
to use dedicated.
Use a dedicated email address.
Yeah. Of course, you can also hide it with alias because this way, if your data will be leaked, hackers will have less chance to brute force your socials or to farm and data for you and perform a more sophisticated attack. By the way, it also can help you to protect your Twitter, X account from SIM swapping, because when hackers are trying to SIM swap an account, they shall type in an email from which your account is registered. So if you have an alias on your Twitter is registered on email with alias, and it does not contain a part of nickname or name from your Twitter. If my nickname is Officer CIA, my email should not contain Officer CIA. This way, hackers won't probably guess how this email looks like, and they won't be able to bypass, to hijack your account, to brute force credentials and so on. And that's why, by the way, my main mail is not Officer, but OpSec CIA.
Interesting. So you changed a little bit your email.
Yeah, that's right. Just use a separate email, separate alias for each service you're
Makes a lot of sense.
you're using, you're signed up in.
Yeah. If he leaks, it's gonna be dead, right?
Yeah, sure. By the way, I've posted on Twitter also a couple of tips like Gmail and other email providers treat plus cutoff, so you can generate your own alias on email via using arithmetics. That's pretty easy. Just find this tweet on my Twitter in which I posted this tip. I'll try to find it by the end of this call. Okay, I think we can move to number.
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about number 2, which is a very interesting one. So problem number 2 states that use different emails and different strong passwords. Never reuse passwords, especially for accounts with personally and identifiable information and sensitive information. For example, Facebook, Gmail, Twitter. So you should never use the same passwords and email. And also states that you should use passwords that are at least 8 characters in length, but a minimum of 12 is recommended. Along with that, if using memorization, ensure that a minimum complexity requirement is met, which is having an uppercase character, a lowercase character, a digit, and a non-alphabetic number. And using a string of unrelated words while still meeting the dictionary requirement makes it easy to have a extremely secure password while being able to remember it. If fully rely on a password manager, a password of 20 plus characters in length that is randomly generated can be used. I wanted to talk a little bit about this part here, officer. I wanted to talk about using a string of words while meeting the dictionary requirement. We're kind of talking about a seed here, like a crypto seed, so 12 words. Isn't that easy to break in the sense of brute forcing passwords? Can we talk a little bit about that?
I think you're talking about brain wallets, and brain wallets are considered insecure because generally, if you're generating a brain wallet, you're probably using words from a song from your childhood or something like this, and this essentially can be recovered.
Interesting.
But you have to remember that this type of wallets has developed especially for crossing borders. So you have to only remember a certain words while you're crossing the border, while you're flying the plane, something like this. And after you're successfully landed, you just should take your money assets out of this wallet and move it to your cold account or tax account or hot wallet, something like this. But people tend to just use it for their cold storage, and this is actually a wrong attitude, because you should never affect entropy. By affecting entropy, I mean everything in blockchain should be done as intended, as it was intended by the original developers, which means you should generate your, for example, Bitcoin wallet with a full node, and that's it. You should not try to add certain words in order to make it more mnemonic. It won't work, but if you have to cross the border, it's a good option for you because you will just have to remember a certain keyword. But there is such a thing as NPC wallets. Maybe you should also check them out because they're also serving the same purpose, but they provide more social recovery options, which I think are not going along with our main attitude and decentralization, permissionless, so on. So
awesome. I have one question for you, officer, which is, how do I? Okay, so everybody hustles with passwords. It's hard for everybody. Yeah. How do I keep track? Like, how do I generate passwords that I can remember? Because pretty much I'm gonna have to have some sort of key manager. But every week, those key managers are, people are finding problems, everything's getting leaked. So what is the system? What is this, with the proper heuristics, what is the system to create new passwords that that are manageable?
Generally there is no a single tactic for everyone, but you should remember when generating a password, it's better to not rely on automatic generation. I know of those scripts, and built-in extensions are pretty useful and saves your time, but better spend several hours from your months in order to make your life more secure. When generating a password, I suggest using random.org or something like this, and by meaning this, I mean it's like ask random.org to show a digit from 1 to 100. For example, it shows 65, and then you just open your favorite book, 65th page, take one word from it, or take, for example, digits and just mix them, something like this. It's not the best and the most secure way, but it balances between the risk and the profit.
Awesome.
By the way, for the password managers, I suggest using two password managers. I wrote about them. Let me find.
Our friend Ustas is recommending KeePass.
KeePass, KeePassX, KeePassCX, and others. They're pretty decent solutions. You should definitely check them out. Okay. By the way, you can also use your YubiKey or NitroKey physical keys as a password enclaves for storing passwords, or even for storing two-factor authentication codes. This will work out this way.
While you search for the manager, can you explain for us what is steganography? Stenography, yeah, stenography. No, Steganography.
What was steganography? It's a really tip for professionals because essentially there are two ways of masking information. In the first way, you're hiding the information itself. This is called cryptography. And in the second way, you hide the fact of its transmitting, and this is called steganography. And when these both attitudes work together, they synergize in something better. It's like you're both hiding an information, and the fact of this information has to be transmitted. By which I mean you may encrypt your seed phrase or important data into an image and just store the image somewhere between other similar images on your computer, and no one will probably guess that this image contains this steganographic image message, which you can further re-encrypt. But this a tip for professionals, and also a tip for those who are crossing the border, because this way I'm sure a customs office won't find your crypto, you can be sure.
So you can hide information inside images, files, so it's a different way of masking information.
Yes, it can be hidden not only in audio files or images, but this can be hidden in a text. You can use literally anything for this. You can check out, by the way, my article about steganography, and learn a bit more about how this was formed, since when, and why it's called steganography. It's pretty bloody story from ancient Roman times. I'm sure you will enjoy it.
Amazing, buddy. Let's go to problem 3. Problem 3 states that never link phone numbers to crypto platforms. Use trusted multiple ASINs if you have the option to link the phone. To lock down your SIM, contact your mobile phone carrier. Ask them to never make changes to your phone number unless you physically show up at a specific store with a minimum of 2 forms of identification. It should prevent hackers from calling up AT&T or T-Mobile or Vodafone, claiming to be you, asking to port your number. This is happening all the time now, right? People getting SIM swapped.
Yeah, very true. By the way, offices of mobile operators has already invented a pretty decent countermeasure solution, which you just mentioned. Is just to physically contact your operator and ask to lock down the SIM. But it does not work on all providers. Technically, it's possible to perform on every in each provider, because every in each provider on Earth works on SS7 for standard. That's a sort of our alternative internet for SIM cards, speaking very roughly, because each SIM card is actually a small computer, surprisingly.
Awesome. So each SIM card is a small computer. Okay. That is new information. I thought it was just a chip or something.
Yeah. And you can do something to secure yourself from SIM swapping, but not all of the employees even aware of that this is possible. So you should insist on this in order to get this done.
Amazing, but
we've tested. Thank you. We've tested in the United States, in UK, in Poland, China, and everywhere. It just works the same. So maybe it's a time to call up your mobile operator.
One thing here in Brazil that is getting harder and harder is getting burner cards, because now you need to show up with 2-3 documents to get a new SIM card, you need to register. But I thought this was easy to get, like some phone number, but it's not so trivial.
Yeah. Almost the same situation is observed almost everywhere. By the way, have you tried eSIM?
No, I need to try this.
I have a list of awesome eSIMs, but I've encountered a pretty creepy situation while dealing with eSIM provider. I installed silent.link provider and my front camera started turning on.
Wow.
Thankfully, I have it ticked, so
Nice.
I won't see anything. But it's creepy. It's quite creepy. So use only trusted eSIM providers. I personally using eSIM and enjoying good internet connection. Very easy to configure. A pretty decent solution. I've posted several, and there is also a Telegram bot for registering eSIMs. Also posted it to my chat, to my Twitter. Check this out.
Amazing. I'm going to jump problem 4 because it's more related to two-factor authentication, but I'm going to jump into problem 5, which is regarding storage. So problem 5 states that cold storage and separate hot wallet and use cold storage and a separate hot wallet. Use multisig or at least a hardware wallet. Never store your seed digitally. Seed phrases are intended to be stored on paper cards included with hardware wallets. That means that never type it up, or your line, take a photo of the card, store your keys on a hard device. Can we talk a little bit about this?
It means a tactic in which you're using the device to sign transactions, and you're using a metal plate or paper plate, just a piece of paper, in order to store your seed phrase. I'll send you a detailed manual on how to do this. But that's more a thing for P2P exchangers where they have constantly travel somewhere with a big amount of money and don't want to bring their main wallet with them. It's a good option, but I also want to suggest you guys several awesome tools which you may use in order to make your Web3 wallet more secure. The first is small.app. Is a set of extensions for Gnosis Safe, currently Safe, a multisig solution, pretty decent one. And the second one is delegate.xyz, a thing that allows you to delegate rights from your address. It's especially important for NFT holders, since they should always put their rare NFT under risk when signing something or aping into something from their main account, and this way you'll be protected from this threat factor at least. Moreover, I would recommend you to use several wallets, namely Rabbi, in my opinion, one of the best wallets currently. Also Frame. It has been unmaintained for a long period of time already, but I hope.
Sorry, go on.
Okay. And that suggests you guys using Gravy, pretty good wallet solution. And if you're speaking about a cold wallet, I suggest you use Lattice from Grid Blues. Pretty awesome and good-looking device, which you may use along with their safeguards. with Ruby, with MetaMask. You can also store Bitcoin there. A pretty awesome solution, and it has several extensions built in, like Revoke Cache and Web3 Antivirus. They're just built in Grid plus Lattice. So, and by the way, in Ruby, you will just see what exactly are you signing, are you approving, in order to not get hacked. That's it.
Awesome. Brothers, I invited everyone to speak. Kranz, I don't know if you have a question, but feel free to open your mic and make it if you have one. I'm gonna go into the next problem, and once again, everybody feel free to make questions. So the next problem is, never do something you don't understand. Always check which token you approve, transactions you sign, assets you send. Be extremely accurate while making financial operations. Keep in mind that one of the possible attack vectors is to put you in a situation that requires you to do something like logging in or signing some transactions. OpSec isn't always a matter of survival. It manifests itself in a variety of ways: at work, in everyday life, in communication, in DAO work, in conference, and so on. You may be surprised to learn there is no perfect solution. These strategies and tactics differ greatly and are dependent on you and what you want to achieve. This one is quite tricky. These scams are getting so advanced. People are luring you for months, and now they have all these different tactics. It feels like at some point everybody will fall.
I doubt, because if you're deep into threat modeling, you just see how scammers and hackers are inventing such scams and tactics. For example, a lot of people had a bad habit of copying an address in order to make a transfer from the last performed transaction. I mean, for example, you send money from your hot wallet to a tax account, and 1 month passes, you get another salary, and you want to send it to tax again, but you copy the last performed transaction address, and surprisingly, you copy the wrong address because scammers have already learned how to do address poisoning. This is an attack in which they're generating an address which looks exactly like the address of your tax account, and make a zero transfer or approved transaction or zero transfer from transaction to your account, in order you to just blind copy and paste it. And essentially someone, I guess, just noticed how many people have this bad habit, even though there is an address book and allow list feature in each wallet and tax. In MetaMask, in Ruby, you can whitelist addresses you're using, and just never ever copy an address from Etherscan or BlockScan. But a lot of people still doing this and fall into the simple scam. Scammers don't really need anything for this scam. They just need a couple of GPUs in order to farm a vanity-generated address. And that's it, and a simple script that will send zero transactions. They will make million try, and one will successfully end up. It works like this. They're just abusing the statistics. So you just have to imagine how this threat works, from which angle they're trying to invent their new emerging threat, because in past there was a pretty known scam which is called Crypto Clipper, which is a malware. Essentially just intercepts your clipboard and replaces a legit address which you've copied to another one, and the address to which they're replacing an original one ends and starts from the same digits as your one. They're like very quickly generating it with the vanity generator, and you just have to get the new habit is to always cross-check digit by digit and any address you're copying, you're pasting. Because as you see, the scams are evolving, and in 2016 there were only clippers, but now we have a clipper technique which is used fully on-chain without any code or malware being spread, and it works literally the same way, as you can see in how this hack evolutionized and grew up together with us. This also means that you should take these risks into considerations, because here in DeFi, in crypto, we are trying to get more money. We're trying to get those 10%. For those tasks and utilities from which the traditional bank system makes off most of the money. It's like most of dApps here works like this. You put your money at Zetium or for you, but you have to remember that each bank spends a lot of money on security, so that here, if we want to become our own bank, we must invest in our security the same way that banks are doing.
Makes total sense. We want to be banks, we need to be secure too, right? There's a really interesting one here, the next one. Be careful about using your real home address online for delivery purposes. Data breaches are becoming now a daily occurrence, and many breaches include customers' names and addresses. Your physical address is not easily changeable as your phone number or email address, so be especially mindful where you put those in the internet. If you are ordering pizza with crypto, order it for pickup instead of delivery. When online shopping, use a different, if available, address for package delivery. Options here include your workplace or drop boxes at delivery services providers like FedEx and your local post service. And we talk about not sharing your address around.
Yeah, true. This thing is especially important in crypto. They have a lot of physical attacks going around here. There is a full repository on GitHub, which you may find at your own, which is called Bitcoin Physical Attack. You just can find it and see how many people were injured and even dead just because they didn't follow basic internet hygiene tips, which means if you're using your email or your text account, never ever use it for ordering pizza or for ordering goods. Just spend 5 minutes, sign up another email, clean one with another nickname. You can also use an alias. This way, hackers and threat actors will probably won't have needed data, and their attack won't succeed. So also I shall mention that there is such an awesome concept as counter open source intelligence, which means you may add deceptive and fake data into leaks, into different sources. For example, you can call yourself like a taxi driver in get contact from 50 different accounts and so on. This way you will have a lot of misleading data, and if anyone will try to farm that data on you, they will just see that you're a taxi driver, that you're probably a fake person, something like this, and they'll probably lose interest very quickly or choose another victim. Yeah, that's very hard, but that's how things are going on in OpSec sphere.
Do you recommend NordVPN? I always thought that is a Ponzi. Question by Bytes EVM.
About NordVPN, in my opinion, I never tried to put it under shade or something like this, but I don't like NordVPN. I'm using either Outline plus own server or Mulvat. I prefer Outline because it supports more standards, more protocols. You may use it if you have access to the foreign internet pretty fast. You can even download movies and play video games with a stable bitrate. Outline is a very good VPN, but NordVPN isn't. Because I also get annoyed by their ads. There are so many.
Yeah, it's true. All that it looks like a Ponzi for real. Like when people say and talking about that. And one question about our data, leaked data. I know there's websites you can check for password leaks. But where do I go to see if I can find any personal data? Like, I know people sell these databases, but there's any open repository where I can go and check for my information, like to see if they have addresses, old phone numbers, and so on.
Maybe there are, of course, such services, but I think they're being sold only for governments or somewhere on the darknet. Honestly, you darks on your own in order to find all data which was attributed to your email or your account on your own. You can check out an article on Medium which is called "Dork Yourself Before Anyone Does" or "Someone Does," something like this. Here an author greatly outlined how you may just search up and find all data associated with you. I know that my data, my family's data, also in leaks, the same way as probably yours, because I've seen a research which stated that each human being on Earth have been leaked.
Wow, everybody?
Yes, everybody, because in each government, in each country, people who pay taxes, they're like being noted, listed, and if you pay taxes, government will probably forever remember about you, so that you'll probably get leaked, because such data, yes, it's secured, but it's also top one of being leaked, top one in leaks.
This is crazy. I mean, the amount of data people can get about you, and they can create a really sophisticated attack. They can create something that, really changes the game, I have a question here from Mr. Roy. He's saying, I saw your Telegram screenshot of the DM that you would like to speak with about the Kyber exploit. What could be the motives of the hacker, and would he ever be caught? Also, you said could possibly be an AGI since it was a much sophisticated attack vector. Officer, if you don't want to talk about this, if you don't want, okay. But he's asking about, what you think are the motives behind the Kyber director attack, and regarding the sophistication of the attack itself.
By the way, my interview with Kyber hacker is out already, so you can check out it on my blog. What's for the hacker? I think he has started to withdraw money after our interview. I've seen somewhere a post from Mistrack highlighting that he sent a part of funds to Tornado Cash. So I don't know how the deal is going on with him and the team. I don't know, but I can guess that the team denied his offer, and he started to withdraw money, to escape money, something like this. I don't think he's an AGI. I think he's an American or Canadian guy, very rich guy, and thereby deserves the worst.
I understand.
That's it.
One question, officer, regarding these leaks and the whole motivation behind. I mean, some people are just not motivated by money, right? Some people just want to see the world burn, and sometimes we forget about these kinds of persons, So there's a lot of different motivations for a hacker to attack, right?
Yeah, it's like people should acquire a special mindset, a security mindset. It's not like a paranoia, or it's not like you're always expecting an attack, but this is something I call a good feeling, an OpSec good feeling. It's like when you see something, an offer, for example, which looks way more good that it can be. Actually, it's a good reason to think twice whether if you need it or not, whether if you need to ape into it or just wait maybe a day and then come back and check out if anything changed. It's like to acquire a mindset, to take your time. It's a big part of the due diligence, and there's no wonder that people don't want to put their time and efforts into this, because even on Wall Street, big wealth, big guys with big money just hire security researcher on a security team. But during last 10 years, the situation has changed dramatically, and they're even now ordering private classes about OpSec and security, because there are now hackers who can hack SwiftNet and even payment networks, withdraw money to their controlled banks, and each hack in, for example, Swift network will cost more than 1 billion for sure. And they're still highlighting only crypto hacks. Oh my God. And those hacks are very often remain unnoticed and even uncommented. No one just needs it. It's like banks are losing billions of money every day to hackers, and hackers sometimes cannot even monetize this money, because this money are just numbers on the screen. They're unmonetized sort of nostrum money,
It's the same with crypto today, right? With crypto, it's kind of the same today, because you put everything on Tornado Cash. I don't know how these guys cash it out. I don't know if they do P2P, because once you're on Tornado Cash, you blocked on most front ends, right?
Well, no, of course, after using Tornado Cash, your money will, on the meta level, become more dirty than they used to be, because they're now associated with North Korea, they're sanctioned, but there is still, no one can tell to which exact case this money belongs. Even though we're trying to build watchers, interceptors, and monitoring systems for Tornado Cash, OpSec, and Railgun, we cannot say for sure who owns which asset. This is not essentially on-chain investigation data is not things that can be used in courts. This is just a method for an inner police investigation work, which may bring good or bad consequences, and it has both advantages and disadvantages. And this cannot be used like a single proof. You have to always find a second incident, a second correlation, to blame the person, or to at least say with a certain percentage of probability that something is belonging to something in blockchain. Because even Chainalysis denies that they have a scientific method, and this is eventually is called an heuristics, which essentially means when you're brainstorming something, you don't have facts about, you don't have much fact about it, and you're just brainstorming it, and it's called an heuristics.
Yes, very interesting.
This is how this is how investigations on blockchain are performed. So it's just data for you, not for blaming the person. And of course, it won't show you exactly who did what. For example, several people DM'd me and told that I'm a right-wing extremist just because I changed 100 DAI the same way someone changed 100 DAI somewhere on Uniswap, and their Chainalysis reactor system showed that I correlate and relate to this address. This is nonsense, and of course it cannot work like this. And if they are just watching time plus some amount, this is dumb, because this is not a second correlation. Second correlation should come somewhere outside of the blockchain, like for example, we established that this guy owns hot money, and then you should find evidence on his, for example, Telegram, on his computer when arrested, and only this way you can accuse him of a hack. You have more evidence than just on-chain data. Raw on-chain data won't work as an evidence.
I understand.
But it can work out for a civil court or a subpoena. But this way, of course, court won't help unless you have a political will, like with some bank fraud. Let's move on.
And a lot of people, they don't understand the power plays we have behind major assets. Sometimes there's a lot of political and other types of influences in there, How you see crypto evolving with regulation? Are we going to be regulated? Are we still going to be in this gray area where people may or may not pay their taxes, may or may not be making money through scams, releasing pointless NFT projects, or clear pump and dumps, casinos? Those things are usually illegal. How the legal side will keep up?
Well, I want to state that from the applied anthropology standpoint, society and humanity need something like this, needs a shock therapy once in 100 years. If we'll check out, there was a gold rush, a silver rush, oil rush, and it happens each 100 years or less. And currently our gold rush is crypto, and I see no problem in it, of course. But what's for the regulation? I'm actually worried about regulators. They're trying to make this sphere good for bad guys and hard for good guys, and then just claim, hey, crypto is used only by bad guys, let's ban it forever.
We see that all the time, right? We see people talk about
going. Those regulators just want to prevent crypto as a sphere for criminals, for bad people, for morally bad people. They're taking it from the moral position, and we shall reply, of course, as a society. Maybe we should invest more in charity or in semi-governmental project, because in 2016 no one was worried about possible regulation in the same level that it is now, and I think in 2016 it was much better time. It's like grass over more green this time, we were younger,
Understand. Before COVID and everything, life was better.
Yeah.
One was
I just wanted to add that we need to save and try to protect things we've got from 2016. I mean, top cultural moments and a strong community of builders, which is really astonishing. I was really impressed when first figured out there's such an awesome world of Web3 exists somewhere.
awesome.
It was amazing.
Awesome, brother. I wanted to question you regarding the current state of auditing. Even though you don't work as an auditor, you have a lot of experience with the security field and following all these attacks. What is your current view on auditing? I'm going to give you mine before, so you kind of get a level of what I'm trying to talk here. I think that after we had platforms like Immunify and Code Arena, it became really hard for auditing firms to keep up. Seems like whenever I do some auditing with a firm today, I can just send the same code to Code Arena and I'm gonna get 2 or 3 highs out of that. Can you talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, I think I can talk about this. I highly encourage you to check out my recent article on my Substack, which is called Remedy, an ultra new bug bounty platform, in which I tried to outline the recent statistics for bug bounty and audit spheres here in Web3, tried to highlight basic and most important points in my opinion, so you should just check it out. I think since I was an Immunify employee, I worked in their team in 2021, the fall 2021, and I was one of the guys who were building the Immunify team initially. By the way, I wrote several articles for their blog, including the original article about Telegram security measures, which I later reposted on my account. So guys, this is not a plagiarism. I posted it while I was working there as a team member. Please remember, because several guys tried to accuse me of plagiarism falsely. They probably didn't know this fact, but I was an Immunify employee. And I think there is a big gap between projects, endpoint by bounty researchers and the company itself. So we just need to find another balance, another perfect balance. I already talked about the two attitudes in Web3 security. I call them more left and more right one. And in this scheme, Immunify will be more right one and Code Arena more left, because right means a centralization. Eventually, their a centralized platform Immunify mean the same way that HackerOne looks like. And the more left one is the Code Arena or Sherlock, because they're using a decentralized way, where in which a community is also interested in the project success because it has strong ties with project customers. You know, it's something from sharing economy from 2017. Good times, you know.
Yeah, totally, bro, totally. I don't know, you guys have questions to the CIAOFFICER? I'm gonna invite everyone to speak. Cruz, Ravi, Roy. Can we talk a little bit about Remedy? You're working there right there now, right? So it's gonna be a bounty platform. When you guys gonna have the first contest?
We already held the first contest in order to make people join our Discord and to try out our tool Astrea, which is all-in-one Swiss pocket knife for auditors. It's in a private beta. And I see Eustace on our call who have won this contest. My congratulations. And he probably have already tried Astrea. Okay. Briefly. Key points. We will have a zero knowledge based bug bounty report proof system, which is very cool, and it's not ZKPOX, not like this. Another one. We will have an Austrian. It's very very cool. All-in-one tool. We'll have partnerships with Audit Wizard and other services. And lastly, this is not just a bug bounty. This is more than just a bug bounty for Web3 even, because we're gonna grow up a service both for Web2 and Web3. By the way, we are launching it very soon.
Aye, so we're gonna have a tool really soon to help us with auditing.
Yeah. This tool will an Astrea, I mean, will just be like a superpower. We're not just trying to provide our bug bounty hunters with unique offers, but also we're trying to provide them with unique tools, which won't be accessible by anyone else. And when I say that's a superpower, I actually mean that's a superpower. Please join the Discord and stay tuned, and this way you won't be discouraged.
I'm gonna share the Discord link here for everybody to join, and I'm gonna give it a call after the talk. I have one last question for you, and I really wanted to know this one. I don't know if you thought about it, because this is not everybody is on this subject like me, but who is Satoshi Nakamoto?
There are different opinions on this topic. I think that's a collaborative pseudonym. This is a very common thing for internet authors and others. They just invent a pseudonym and write under it. Basically, yeah. I think that's maybe 5 persons. One from Australia, one from America, one from, I don't know, Brazil or whatever. I just think that's not a single person.
It's so weird because, there's a lot of counter information. Some people are talking about Dr. Adam Beck. Some people talk about Gavin. It's really weird. And then when you see that Finney had a neighbor called Satoshi, everything just... when you're about to touch it, it disappears. There's something really weird in there.
By the way, check out an article on my Substack, which is called "They Wanted to Freeze Me Alive." In this article, I tried to outline a bit about Patoshi. Patoshi is a mysterious Satoshi doppelganger who probably have hidden a lot of bitcoins on the blockchain. So highly encourage you to go to my Substack to find an article. They threatened to freeze me alive, and to read it very very carefully, because probably you'll get an answer on who was Satoshi Nakamoto. And I'm pretty sure I'm very, very close to solving this mystery.
Nice, I'm gonna read that. Can you send us the link? Some people are saying Hal Finney, but there's a lot of counter arguments against Hal Finney. Hal Finney was a very knowledgeable developer, and the first code from Satoshi was really bad. Also, they were exchanging emails with each other, which is a lot of countermeasures, this is... I thought Google knew who was him because of the first search on Google, like Bitcoin, probably that was him making the first search or something.
Yeah, probably. Anything can be true here. That's a conspirology in its direct meaning means when people are teaming up and trying to think something
one question
together.
question from Roy. He's asking, do you think that the BTC in Satoshi wallet will be moved in the near future?
I think that Satoshi has a lot of drop debts across the blockchain, and if he is alive, he doesn't need to move those coins. But if he wants to cause a huge dump, of course he will do this. But I don't see an opportunity from which he will be able to get more money than just pumping it. You know, it's way more profitable to pump it rather than to dump it for him. But maybe if he has a lot of bitcoins he wants to sell, he probably needs to cause a big selling pressure in order to make an offer, you know. This way, of course, bitcoins can be moved, but I'm pretty sure that big players will be aware of it. After all, who am I to judge and who am I to guess what will happen with these bitcoins? I just don't know. This is not a financial advice, guys. Do your own research, please.
Yeah, they are, bros. And brother, I mean, I think this is it. You know, I really love to talk. I would like to know if you have anything to say, any closing thoughts, any idea you want to leave to people that will hear this on YouTube.
Will you please repeat? Sorry, I had problems with my...
No problem. Just asking if you have any closing thoughts, any ideas that you want to leave to people that will hear this on YouTube.
Sure, of course. I highly encourage you to check out my OpSec guide on GitHub, to visit my blog on Mirror, and especially to check out my recent article, which is called Security Devices for Digital Nomads, from which you will learn more unique devices, even DIY ones, which you can use to secure yourself in our digital realm. That's it. Wish you luck, guys, and stay safe.
Thank you so much for coming. Very special episode, very special getting a glimpse of your brain. You know, that's not something that we came across every day. Someone so knowledgeable in the field. Thank you for taking the time. Thanks everybody for being here, for the questions, and see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.